Spoiler warning here. I'm going to be talking about the entirety of the movie, including the ending. So if you don't want it spoiled, you can click off now. So yesterday I went to go see The Conjuring Last Rites. And because of this movie, I am now putting off some of my other projects for a day just to make a video on this movie. I had no expectations of making a movie review on this, but holy shit, do I have some things to say about this movie because it managed to piss me off so fast and so easily. I'm not going to be using any clips from the movie because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So you're just going to have to trust me on this. We'll get in straight away to what everybody probably clicked on the video for, the foreshadowing. It is egregious. I will list off every instance of garbage foreshadowing that I can off the top of my head because I only watched the movie once and I want to keep it that way. So I'm not going to watch it again just to get all of them right. So we'll start with the beginning. So at the beginning of the movie, Ed and Lorraine Warren are interviewing someone, and whenever they're ready to begin their investigation or whatever, they both stand up, hands to Lorraine Warren, who is clearly pregnant. She's pregnant. They're on an investigation while she's pregnant. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh no, after she touches the mirror, she sees flashes of her child and something's wrong, and oh, now the baby's coming out. Who would have guessed that? And then at the hospital scene later, one of the doctors makes an offhand comment about the baby's umbilical cord is wrapped around its neck. I wonder where that's going to go. And then the child ends up being a stillborn and then comes to life 1 minute later. And I wonder where that's going to go later on in the movie. Oh, look, she hung herself because she was possessed by a demon, and now all of a sudden she's dead for a while, and then she comes back to life 1 minute later. Holy fuck, they did the thing. They foreshadowed that at the beginning of the movie, but I can't feel satisfied about it because of the rest of the foreshadowing that I'm getting into now. So when we're first introduced to the Smurtle family, they're doing a whole church ceremony thing, and the dad is recording all of it because it's one of their daughter's birthday, and they go to the church and they do their whatever. And the whole time he's recording stuff. And I'm thinking to myself while watching the movie, oh, there's going to be something in one of the recordings. And later on, whenever they're having her birthday, her grandparents gave her a gift, which was the mirror from the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, yep, I knew it. And as they go along, stuff starts to happen after she unwraps the mirror. And then the light falls down. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I know that this recording is going to come back somehow. And what do you know? Later on in the movie, the girl is watching the recordings and oh, she sees a face. And I fucking wonder what's going to happen next. Oh, she sees the face, and now there's a demon with an axe chasing her. Who would have thought? And then there's a scene even before that where one of the Smurtles is on the phone. Her line gets caught up in a closet or something, and it's her children. Her children are sitting there holding the cord so she can't move with it. And instantly, right there, I'm like, okay, that's gonna come back. And sure enough, it does come back. Phone's getting held, and she's like, girls, stop it, blah, blah, blah. And then she sees the girls run upstairs and she walks over to it. And the phone gets ripped from her hands, and oh, there's nobody in the closet. Yeah, yeah, who would have saw that coming? And then there's a scene where they have this little fucking doll that crawls around on the floor and it goes, mama, mama, whatever. And one of the Smurtles comes in, picks it up, and is like, how'd you get in here? Puts it on the basket and then walks out with it. And right there, I'm like, that doll's gonna come back and it's gonna do some creepy shit. And sure enough, it comes back and does some creepy shit where one of the girls is chasing it as it's waddling off or crawling off, whatever. And whenever it does, it then turns around and then stands up on its legs and then floats in the air. And oh, there's a ghost holding it. And I wonder who would have seen that this doll was going to come back into play after that scene. Ooh, isn't our movie so creepy for using ghost dolls again? And speaking of ghost dolls, just to take a break from all of the foreshadowing stuff, they try and force Annabelle into this movie at any point that they fucking can. And once you see the movie, if you see the movie, just know that it will piss you off how many times Annabelle comes up in this movie for no fucking reason. So just keep that in mind. Back to foreshadowing though, at the beginning of the movie, they emphasize multiple times that Ed Warren has had a heart attack before. And they even emphasize that he cannot suffer another heart attack. His doctor tells him that. The doctor's in there for one scene just to say, you can't suffer another heart attack. So I wonder what the fuck's gonna happen. He has another heart attack later on in the movie. Shocker. I mean, fucking shocked. You had me there. I thought he was just gonna not have a heart attack. Maybe he would have a stroke instead or have cancer. I don't fucking know. And I guess the final instance of foreshadowing that I can think of is just something that's been there the entire time that everybody fucking saw coming. But it also has a setup payoff thing that I'm also going to get into. I'm going to get into the setups and the payoffs for the movie because I find them fucking awful. So what happens is Judy Warren, the daughter, decides that she wants to go and take on this investigation, whatever. And the mirror from the beginning that tried to kill her is there. And the entire time, once you find out that the mirror's involved, you just know, hey, what's probably gonna happen? Oh, the demon probably wants her back because he couldn't kill her when she was a baby. And sure enough, when Lorraine Warren is talking about it, she's like, I see three spirits here, and then a fourth one that's controlling them. I wonder what they want. You wonder what they want, and then it cuts to Judy Warren finding the fucking mirror, and a piece of fucking chalk rolls from under it, and on the ceiling it's written out, "Did you miss me?" or something like that. I'm so glad I had time to process this. I'm glad I didn't predict this at the beginning of the fucking movie because you foreshadowed it so hard. Thanks, movie, because absolutely everybody saw that coming. Other gripes that I have with the movie, some of the ways that they just tell you stuff that already happened and try and explain it, such as whenever the girls try and get rid of the mirror and it goes into the trash compactor. And after it does that, one of the girls starts spitting up blood and mirror shards. And then later on in the movie, Tony, Judy's boyfriend, is asking Ed Warren why he doesn't get rid of or destroy his artifacts. And he's like, well, sometimes destroying them just makes things worse. Yeah, we saw that movie. Thanks for spelling it out for us, though. They do stuff like that a couple of other times in the movie, but that's the most egregious one, and I just wanted to throw that one out there. I don't want to talk about every instance of that. In a general sense, though, the CGI fucking blows. It just that's it. The CGI blows and the callbacks also fucking blow. They make no sense and they're so bad that I don't even want to talk about them. But I will. There's one scene while they're in the Smurtle's house where Judy is walking around and she goes into a room and oh, there's a doll on the ground. Why the fuck is it an Annabelle doll? Why is Annabelle there? You have a shit ton of other dolls in this house because there's little kids and you still force in the Annabelle doll who then stands up and starts morphing into a giant Annabelle doll creature. Why? Fucking why? Leave it out of the movie. Holy shit. The tension in the movie is just non existent. They just set up scenes and then pay them off immediately. It's like there's a scene where she's getting her wedding dress because Tony proposed to her and she's in a room that's full of mirrors and it's like, oh, I wonder what's about to happen. I wonder if there's going to be something in the infinite hall of mirrors and sure enough there is. And speaking of this scene, the one thing that pissed me off about this scene is that the person who was doing her dress had left and she's looking around and there was one reflection that didn't drop down whenever she did. And she was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then she's looking off some more and then the door opens and she's like, hey, whatever the person's name who was doing her dress was, and she keeps saying hey to her as if she didn't fucking see her. Like you're in a room surrounded by mirrors and you're telling me you didn't look up at the door that opened? She didn't look up at the Really? That scene fucking pissed me off while I was in the theater. I was so mad. But continuing on with tension, there's the scene where she's looking through the footage, trying to see the face that she thought she saw whenever she was blowing out her candle. And then there's eyeballs, or what appear to be eyeballs, above the television. And then a truck passes, and it's just the reflection of some cups. And then she turns around, and there's an axe sitting there, and just sits there. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a giant guy comes and grabs the axe, and it's like, where was the tension in this scene? You just kind of gave a bait and switch and then immediately paid it off with the axe guy chasing her. There's also another scene where a different character goes down to do laundry, and in the corner of your eye, or like on the corner of the screen, you can kind of see a figure of a man. the same axe wielding man. And he just stands there and he stands there and then she leaves and that's it. Guess there's more tension in that scene because it didn't immediately get paid off, but it's still like there's barely any tension. You just hit a person in shadows, and that's what you said was gonna make the final cut. Just a pointless scene. Oh, and back to foreshadowing for 1 second because I just remembered one. There's a scene where Lorraine Warren, while she's there, turns on a little carousel and it plays some creepy music. And oh, I wonder what's going to happen later on. Oh, she hears the carousel going again. And then her daughter's sitting there in the corner because she's all possessed and she's creepy. Yeah, great movie, thanks. Even just weird general things with tension. It's like at the end of the movie, whenever Judy Warren is hanging, they make it seem so stressful. Oh, they're trying to hold her up so she doesn't die and then cut the rope. And it's like this movie did nothing to deserve this at all. Every other bit of tension that you have is just garbage, and everything leading up to this point, and even later on, whenever the mirror is possessed and they're trying to fight off the mirror, it has Tony pinned under it, and they're trying to build suspense like, oh, it's going to kill him, and oh, Judy's gonna die. But everything that they've set up before that makes it seem like they're gonna go on to live happily ever after. So you already know that that's bullshit. A few other things that I have gripes with, and I'll wrap up the video here. For one, God's power in this movie, and from what I've been told in every other movie, just makes no sense. They make it seem like God is this infinite, powerful being, which he's depicted as in just about any religion you can think of. And for some reason, the demons just don't care. The demons are going to fuck you up regardless of if you have the power of God and anime on your side. You're just dead. It's over. It's fucking over for you. Even if you have a cross, the ghost just burns the cross, or the demon. The demon just burns the cross. Okay, so God is apparently a wimp in this movie and every other movie from what I've been told. So, whatever. And one big thing is that nobody is fucking home in this movie. And I mean that in a literal sense. So, throughout the movie, it is emphasized at least 3 times that I can think of. 8 people live in this house. 8 people couldn't be liars, blah, 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 blah. There's 8 people in this house. You add 4 new people, the Warrens and then Tony. And so there is a total of 12 people in the house. So tell me why there can be scenes in this movie where you focus on one character who can walk through half of the damn house and not see a single other fucking person. It makes no sense, and it drove me crazy throughout the entire movie. Judy and Lorraine Warren both apparently just have fucking superpowers in this movie too, where instead of just being like psychics or mediums who can speak to ghosts, they just fucking have superpowers that tell them where the ghosts are. There's one scene where Judy can see where the priest died just fucking because she touched the cactus. The fucking cactus. She touched the cactus. Yeah, my bad, my bad. Oh, this movie's got me drained. The fucking casket. She touches the casket and she can see where the priest died, and then she tracks down the house from there and then goes off to see it. Whatever. They just have fucking powers in this movie. It's not even like psychic mediums anymore. They're just omniscient beings who can figure shit out and they can see spirits and whatever. I don't know if it's the same way in every other movie, but from what I've been told, it's not. And so it just makes no sense to me and pisses me off even more. The smallest gripes that I have are just that the main ghost didn't really have a backstory, and that 2 of the 3 ghosts look similar to the point where I actually asked after the movie if there was 2 or 3 ghosts in this movie outside of the main one, and they were saying that there was 3, but they were so slightly distinguishable that it's no wonder I couldn't figure out if there was actually 2 or 3. And then the ending just sucked. I don't think that they deserved that ending. I'm not opposed to happy endings, but it just didn't seem like it was deserved or earned in any way. But maybe that's just because the movie sucked. But either way, that is my review of The Conjuring Last Rite. I give this movie a wow, I didn't see that coming out of 10. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice night and sweet dreams.